the reason that we're inviting you guys to master some of these tools is if you've got the ability to mirror and read people, and you've got the ability to draw information out of people, are you going to use the weakest tool in your toolbox, or are you going to use the one that's precisely designed for that? One of the best transactions in my career, it was the highest price point home I'd ever listed, right? I believe we listed at $670. Homeowner had built his wife, he and his kids, and he and his wife and his 3 kids had built this home, right? This was in the market, was about 6 months worth of inventory. So we met, right? He called in because he'd seen some of our videos. And this, by the way, this is when I was still practicing real estate. By the way, at the same time, I'd just done the Landmark Forum, personal development, at the advice of my mentor. I'd also done the advanced course, and I was also currently in the leadership course. And in the leadership course, you spend 7 months practicing what I'm trying to get you guys to do with Chris Voss in Never Split the Difference, practicing mirroring and labeling. Right? So we were practicing it. So I was looking for, just like with gratitude, if you're journaling gratitude every day, your brain is looking for what can you be grateful for, puts you in an optimal state of being, right? The fact that I was practicing listening to people meant I was looking for every opportunity to be face-to-face and read their cues and feed it back to them and see if I understand what was really going on in here, not just what they were spouting. Because how many of you have experienced that oftentimes what people say doesn't necessarily accurately reflect what they actually feel? Your thoughts lead to your feelings lead to action. Do people buy a house because it fit all of their criteria, or do people buy a house because they emotionally connected with the idea of creating a life in that house? You follow? So some of that can't be discerned from an email or a text. Some of that can't be discerned from an email or a text. And so when we set that price point, and to their credit, we set it at the low. There were only 4 homes like it that had the amount of acreage, the size of house, the year of house, right, and a giant shop. There were only 4 homes in the entire Spokane County. We were the lowest price. We received an offer that was nearly $100,000 below asking price. Now, I didn't text the agent because that's stupid. Because that's what the average agent would do. And it would rob me of the ability to serve my client at the greatest level if I wasn't going to use the skills I was learning to actually have a conversation with both my client and the other realtor. So I called the other realtor and I asked for a sit down. Of course, she wouldn't do the sit down, but I said, well, let's have a conversation about this. I discerned a couple of things right off the bat. Even though she'd been a realtor for a couple of years, she was pretty inexperienced. I also discerned right up in allowing her to talk and mirroring what she was saying, she said, you got to understand, don't give up on this couple. They've been looking for 2 years. And the wife said when she walked in the door, get me this house. I don't want to around anymore. The agent shared that with me. Was she going to share that with me in a text? No! So when I sat down with the client, I said he was, through the roof. So it took literally 10 or 15 minutes just for him to get back to rational, right? How do I do that? By mirroring and labeling. When he fully understood that I understood how pissed off he was able to calm down, took the wind out of his sails. And I said, we've got a couple of options, right? But the one that I'm leaning towards that I would love to do is to literally write rejected on the front page.
The buyer's agent had also let you know that he was like a very high-powered surgeon that was never told no very often.
Yeah,
So
right?
You left out that little nugget.
Which, by the way, would she have volunteered that in a text? No. Are you guys getting what I'm putting down? Okay. As it turns out, we were able to get that house sold for about $15,000 less, but no closing cost, quick close, and all of that, and my client was ecstatic. My point being, I'm going to ask you guys, does the average agent do a lot of communication via text and email, yes or no? Do you? You want to, look, the reason that we're inviting you guys to master some of these tools is if you've got the ability to mirror and read people, and you've got the ability to draw information out of people, are you going to use the weakest tool in your toolbox, or are you going to use the one that's precisely designed for that? You got to elevate your skills. You got to elevate your skills.